Music Multiverse listeners, and welcome to Beyond Your Radio and another panelist favorite show. And this time we're venturing into albums to take into heaven. I have no idea how the panelists prepared for this. I left it to their own devices, their paranoias, their hopes, their dreams, their fantasies, their insecurities. How they came up with it, they know, and they'll share it with you. Hopefully, God's not watching. Obviously, I don't think he's subscribed yet. I keep looking. So let's see how this goes. But before we get into the heaven of the panel, let's meet the panel. She's got safe passage, probably because, she's with me. So
Oh,
some she's putting up with me. She gets in. Dun, 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 dun. Susie
that,
Q.
that,
Good.
that there is truth in that.
Uh, he's hoping that Jerry Garcia's been putting in a good word for many, many years. So the Grateful Dude. That's if Jerry's, he's there. He could be doing it could be a ice cream stand in purgatory. Uh, and then again, I can't wait to hear heavy metal in heaven, Mr. Jeff Young. How is everybody tonight?
Very
What?
good.
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 All right. You as you announce your one and then your next and your next, obviously we'll get a flavor for how you attack this. I don't think any of us are gonna have done this the same. So just remember if you're watching to subscribe. So the comments have been a lot of fun lately. There's been some really good ones, funny stuff. Even if it's you know, derogatory, it's still fun. Or trying to teach me something is good too. So I love
He
it all.
likes insults. Insult
Yes,
him.
insults are great. Yes, double down. Why don't we start off with Sue?
Okay. So I didn't really do them in an order. This isn't an order thing, right? It's just five that you're
Oh, it
taking.
could be five. Yeah, it doesn't have to be in order.
So I picked Paul Simon's The Rhythm of the Saints, and I didn't pick it because it had saints in it. I
Okay. All right.
just like the album. Uh, this one was released in 1990. Um, it was categorized, I looked it up, it was categorized as rock and world music. I don't really know what world, I guess all-encompassing music. Um, it uses Brazilian musical elements. He collaborated with some Brazilian musicians. Obviously, it is full of rhythm, as the, the title indicates. It's got a lot of energy. It's fun. Um, it's just a really good album. Listened to it a lot when it first came out, especially. Mark, I know you and I have memories of your sisters. They used to dance to it
Yep.
for us. It does get you moving. It's good. It's a good album. I think it's different for Paul Simon. I don't know. I'm not a big Paul Simon connoisseur, but um, sometimes he can sound kind of mopey, maybe. I don't know. And not in a bad way, mopey.
Right. Right. A little
Um,
acoustic melancholy, kind of.
Melancholy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I like him on this one. It sounded like he enjoyed it. I like it when it sounds like the artists are enjoying themselves. And this one um was very creative and so yeah, I think it would be fun to listen to.
That's
Up and
total opposite of yesterday's Phil Collins.
yeah.
I like it when it sounds like the artist is having fun. I don't. He can't. It's not allowed to have fun. He has to be
Mhm.
serious. And anyway, all right. Let's go to the Grateful Dude and see what he's got on his list.
Okay. My list is pretty simple. It's it's the five albums or five people that I really enjoy. Who I take to a Disney island since I don't believe in purgatory or the opposite. And when I'm dead, I'll be singing uh, these songs in my mind.
Mhm. For
So,
eternity.
Yes, to
so
eternity.
yep. Number five, I picked Bruce Springsteen in the River. I find it his best album. It's on my top five list. All these are on my top five list. It was an easy. this is the easiest one I've done because these were already picked for me.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen, he is great in my estimation. He's perfect. He's perfect in every way in my book. I've not heard anything that he's ever done that I didn't like. But
Yeah. So,
and I
so
would
the only
make.
hard part was deciding whether it was going to be the river or something else, or was it really?
Um, yeah. Um, 6 and 7 are both Bruce Springsteen albums.
Okay. All right.
So we'll leave it at that. We'll make this short and sweet if I
Sure.
have to. Okay.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Mr. Young.
I'm picking Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit because I'm just going to assume Kurt Cobain went to heaven, and I'd like to actually talk to him, like listen to the album with him.
Oh, you
Oh,
mean
that's
never
cool.
mind. Never mind.
Or never mind. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
never mind.
Okay, it's all right.
I don't know how I had the song in my head, not the
That's
Yeah.
true. Everybody would.
yeah, so I just, and that was one show I wanted to go to and didn't because I didn't have anybody to go with. And a month later, he's dead. And like, that's the reason I will go to a show alone now because I don't want to miss it just because somebody didn't want to go with me, right? And, but yeah, I would just like to sit and listen to the album with him and, ask him, are the conspiracy theories true or did you really kill yourself? Or, but then just listen to the album and just talk to him about it. That's all.
Nice.
I like that.
I like it.
Mm.
All right. I took a different path every time. So my number 5 is a bribe, so I can get in. Yep. Look Up, Child by Lauren Daigle.
Listen, you may be God, but I have more albums than you in my basement. So let me make you an offer you can't refuse.
So it's a remarkable Christian record. It's uplifting, beautiful. It has tremendous vocal. It's triumphant as it should be. And when you're and we all look up to the heavens. So Look Up, Child, and that's kind of how I went about this particular start. I figured if I had that album with me, hey, I really like this, and don't be upset about the Rage Against the Machine and the all the other stuff, or Static X's Love Dump or whatever. So well, I'll leave mine at that. That's number 5, and I'm probably still being wanded at the gates to make sure I'm not bringing anything else in.
Beep, 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 beep. Like when they walk through the Matrix with like the ball.
Yes.
You open your jacket, you got all these CDs.
Yeah, he's got Eminem. Stop. Sue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like her too. She's got a good voice.
Yeah.
So I picked, we just talked about this one the other night, but I was thinking about it. Eye to the Telescope, KT Tunstall. So a little bit of a repeat, but again, I just find it to be such a soothing. So this would be like my relaxing day. Hopefully there's a spa going on and I can just kick this music on and kick back and enjoy. And yeah, so just a quick recap again, it's I think it was her debut album, I believe, and it's got the Cherry Tree and Suddenly I See, but it also has some really other good songs that didn't make it on the airwaves. So
if you're bringing that one, I am not going to bring that one because I won't need to.
right, we can hang out together and invite Kurt and.
So wait a minute, is this a suicide pact now? What's going on? I don't understand. Okay.
Did not say that.
What I was saying, if she's going, I'm coming with her.
All right, on that note, we'll get over to the Grateful Dude.
Okay. Suicide pact, huh? Yeah. So anyway, my next one is another very typical for me. CSNY, American Dreams.
That's a good one.
It's a fabulous album. It's just, there's nothing wrong with this album in any way, shape, or form. It's from vocals to the melodies. It's just perfect. And I really can't say too much about this album.
Yeah, it's funny that you would bring that one because some people would be like it would be deja vu, right? Or but I agree with you completely. That would be if I was going to choose, even over a Neil Young record, I'd probably pick that record. And they'll
It's my favorite of all the CSY.
Yeah.
I just think it really, from the harmonies to
Yeah.
Steven Stills picking, it's just really sublime. It is.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. Just for people of note, I did Archives 3 yesterday from Neil Young. On that archive is the original version of This Old House that he played live before he gave it and used it at CSNY. So for that record. So that's a pretty good version. Jeff.
Yeah.
Picking the live Ozzy Osbourne album Tribute, a tribute to Randy Rhoads. And again, I'm going to assume Randy Rhoads made it to heaven. And I want to listen to that album because it's got his best work on that. And I want to talk to him about it and ask him his opinion of other guitarists. And while we're just want to hang out, have a beer with him and listen to that album, listen to his stories and see what his influences are. Because I know he studied classical and didn't really ever really wasn't initially intending to be a rock star, like even though he was in small rock bands, but he was always studying to do classical. And I just think it'd be great hangout.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He died way too young.
Yeah, way too young, actually. Yeah, he's another one. Okay, so on the next one, I kind of played on the word, the idea, the complexity, I definitely think it's going to be super, but it's definitely unknown. So I took Soundgarden's Super Unknown. And the unpredictability of what was that album prior to Bad Motorfinger? Bad Motorfinger comes out and then this one comes after. You didn't know kind of what to expect, and it became probably one of the greatest grunge albums of all time. I will say this, there's another reason I want it on me or coming with me is because if you lose your memory and it's wiped clean for some reason, I would want to rediscover and reacquaint myself with that album. So
which one was it again?
Super Unknown. Back to Soup.
And does anybody remember who sang that song In Heaven There Ain't No Beer?
I can look it up. I do not know.
It's in my head now.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, I went with The Color and the Shape, Foo Fighters. I don't know if Dave's gonna make it into heaven now, but whether he does or not, I'm gonna bring his album because I like it. So,
well, his drummer's there, so
that's right. His drummer and lead singer in Nirvana. So we're piecing together the whole
Again,
band.
we're all
getting
in
the band back together.
Okay. Anyway,
Bob Paisley. No beer in heaven?
In Heaven There Ain't No Beer.
Yeah. I think it's Brad Paisley.
Okay.
Grateful Dude.
Okay, to continue. My next one is Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell 1.
I like that you got hell in there. Nice.
Yeah. Well, if I end up any place, I will end up in hell because I am way too bad and good.
Yeah, it's nice to know I'll have a friend there waiting for me.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends there waiting for me. Probably half of you mentioned are probably sitting in hell. So, it's a good album. I've talked about him on the show before. Meatloaf, I've seen him in concert. Guy's awesome. His album's awesome. And I'm not going to say much about any of these albums because they're all in my book, standards.
Yeah, classic.
Classic, yeah.
We will be doing an album review of catalog review show for Meatloaf coming soon.
Yep.
All right. So now to Mr. Young for his next.
I actually picked a Soundgarden album as well. I picked Bad Motorfinger.
Oh.
Again, I just want to hang out with Chris Cornell, talk to him about that, the career, what he thinks of music now, and talk about those songs, and like just an incredible debut album. And yeah, just just a good excuse to hang out with Chris Cornell, bring an album for something to do, and talk to him about his other bands too.
True.
Yeah, a couple of them. All right, so I'm playing on words again. I believe that it's what I'll be looking for, and it fits, and it might be Prague's only chance of getting into heaven at this level of it. And I'm gonna go with Muse, Absolution.
I almost picked that.
I would love to have Absolution for my idiocracies and my you know I don't know if atrocities, but anyway.
Atrocities. What's happening?
Against my fellow,
You mean like this show?
Against my fellow music multiverse listeners when I offended thee and Jimi Hendrix as a one-trick pony, maybe that's so there I am, Muse Absolution. That's my number 3. Back to Sue.
We're going to confession this weekend.
Oh, I think that's an Amos Lee album, right? No, that's
I don't know. Okay. So my next one, I went with Billie Holiday, Lady Sings the Blues. It was released in 1956 because I do like her compilation albums, but I know you like to have an actual album, and of them
on here you could cheat. It would be I would sometimes you look and you go, God,
I can
I
cheat
get one
in
that's
heaven?
a double or triple album? Can I have it?
Okay. Well, this one, I mean, they're all good albums, but she got some good tunes on this one. So, and I love her voice. Crazy life, but I don't know where she wound up, but she can sing.
Yep.
She can sing.
Sing it. Let's get to the Grateful Dude.
Well, my next album is very stereotypical for me. The Workman is Dead by the Grateful Dead. In fact, you'll hear about the Dead more in this.
That's good. Like I said, I was telling you that I got a friend who would probably be all Rush.
Well, this could have been all dead, but I can't stay in purgatory for the rest of the time. Listen to the one artist. They gotta make it up, and especially since most of these, about 95 are all musicians, especially well-known ones, will be in hell.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Okay.
Yep.
This is a great album. I find it probably one of their best, if not their best. It shakes it up a little bit. It has Uncle John's band in it, and it's just a really good album. If people want to get into the Dead, I say listen to this album.
It's good place to start. I like that album.
Yeah, it's a great album. Yeah.
Mr. Young.
I'm going with Road Apples from the Tragically Hip. And I want to hang out with Gord Downey with this one and just ask him his perspective on, selling out big stadiums in Canada and Buffalo and Detroit. And then when he goes south of there, he's playing in small clubs. Like, I just, that's a guy who's probably got a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
From adored to clubbing. Backwoods, backdoor. Yeah.
Might have been a nice relief.
Yeah. I when these bands usually make it that big, they don't get that luxury or that intimacy, and they got a little bit of everything all the time. So that's a great one. More on that later, probably. My next one is oh man. So Jeff Martin has a moment of doubt and pain meeting Peter at the gates of heaven, and he won't let him in. It just seems apropos. It's an album that I would love to bring, that I would think the reason I'm bringing it is to walk up to Morrison and go, have you heard this? Would you like to see how you got carried on, so to speak, or reincarnated or reinvigorated? Hey, imagine if you would have played guitar. So that's my number 2 pick, the Tea Party Splendor Solace. Probably should have been one of the biggest bands on the planet. Sue, you're number 1.
Number 1. I went with Bruce Hornsby and the Range the Way It Is. It's one of my favorite albums. I love the sound on it. I love the jazzy. I love the piano. Um, Great album.
Yeah.
I think it was one of my first and only cassettes I ever owned.
It's still down in the basement of the canister, I think.
Good old canister.
Good old canister.
Christmas canister.
Grateful Dude.
Okay, I mentioned this band, this album from this band before, so it's going to be no surprise. Caravan Station by the Grateful Dead. That's my favorite album on earth. I listen to it an average of once a week, if not more. It's one that I can listen to over every time I mow the lawn. I'm listening to Caravan Station. I used to listen to various bands, but I like to listen to Caravan Station. It's a 30-minute song and a bunch of little ones thrown in there. It's their 9th studio album. It was released in '77, yet it sounds like it was the '90s to me because they shake it up a bit. They did. They really did. Jeff, your turn.
I want to hang out with Eddie Van Halen in heaven, so I'm bringing Van Halen 1, and I have a feeling it would be a very long conversation. Hopefully, maybe the rest of eternity. I don't know. He's probably got a million stories and a lot of good insight. And just like to ask him about building his own guitars, having his own sound. What's he think about the guitarists? And all the people he played with, contributing to Michael Jackson, just all that stuff.
Yeah, sounds thriller.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask him too about what happened that night in Buffalo. Because I know that I didn't pick up on it, but the concert we were at, he was a half a step behind the entire concert.
Oh.
He was blasted. Yeah, so a lot of people
blasted.
Yeah, just drunk out of his mind.
Oh well, that's why I would have a step behind.
Yeah, well, just how do you you got to recover from it somehow. You can't, but it's funny how he's half a step behind. I enjoyed the show. I didn't catch it. Maybe because we were where we were. I don't know. But several people are at that show. He goes, "Oh yeah, that was awful." He was a step. I'm like, "What?" I didn't catch it. Maybe, you know why? Because Alice in Chains, I had no hearing left. But yeah. All right. So my number 1 is the Tragically Hip Road Apples, an era. And I just want to thank him for it. And this album was the pinnacle. It's a memory of all that I love about exploring music and the unknown of it. My wife, my friends, the concerts, the memories, the sing-alongs. I will never forget it. And it would be cool to be able to say thank you. I don't know if I'd love to sit down with him, but somehow I feel like access is going to be, hard to be granted.
Yeah, when your sentence to Earth is up, you can
go. They're sending me back down, right? I don't. So I'll thank the panelists for doing this tonight. But really, what it boils down to is, what's your list? What 5 are you bringing into heaven with you? Or if you're standing there with your 5 to go in, be careful what albums you bring. Might send you back down. So on that note, what should the next time the panelists get together be? Oh, I got it. Albums you take to hell. You can have it any way you want. Maybe you're taking them there to burn them, or maybe open up hell's ears to something different. I don't know. Do it any way you want, but I think that'll be fun. I don't think we're going to do purgatory, but we'll see as things go on. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, articles, videos, podcasts. It's all about music, albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. And of course, thank you for watching and happy listening.